Good evening, I'm John Carter and welcome to Poland Daily. The Association of Polish Righteous Among the Nations have issued a letter to Jerusalem and Warsaw. They request Israel and Poland begin dialogue again to reconcile their differences. The association are a group who risked their lives to save Jews during the German occupation of Poland. This act of grace was also very courageous, given that Germans executed whole families for such disobedience. The controversy between Poland and Israel erupted after Poland adopted a law which makes it illegal to ascribe German war crimes to Poland. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki met with signatories of the letter.
Nie można było przetrwać właściwie.
It was virtually impossible for Polish Jews to survive the German occupation of Poland without the help of their Polish brethren. Starting from small things, such as giving them bread or water, to the most risky help, hiding Jews in their own homes. Both forms of help to our Jewish co-citizens were punishable by death. In the name of the Polish government and all Poles, I would like to thank all of you present here today for taking that risk.
Rządu Rzeczpospolitej.
The president of the Polish Association of the Righteous Among Nations, Anna Stupniska-Bando, handed over the organization's letter to the Prime Minister at the start of the meeting. She later stated that they had penned the letter so that the two nations, which lived for a long time together in peace, would not conflict with each other.
Rozmowy.
Dark forces appear when the two sides do not talk to each other. This is why the dialogue must continue.
Występują różne bardzo przykre sprawy.
Anna Stupniska-Bando was a teenager in 1941 when her mother walked with her several times to Warsaw Ghetto and smuggled in food for starving people. One day they managed to walk away with a Jewish girl, Liliana Olter. Her mother made the local priest issue documents proving that she was her Catholic niece from another city. After the war, Liliana went to live in Israel. They were not reunited until 1989. Witold Lisowski from the Polish Association of the Righteous Among Nations says that he will never forget the horrors that he experienced in Warsaw during the German occupation. He recollects what he saw in the Warsaw Ghetto on a daily basis.
Tego nie można powtórzyć.
It is not possible to explain in words the experience we went through. The fact that I saved a Jew from death during the war is today viewed as a heroic act. For me, it was simply the human thing to do, and an act of friendship. The Polish government has expressed a wish to calm the high emotions that have flared up between the Polish and Israeli side. To do so, the government has formed a group of experts on issues connected with history and law, which will work with their counterparts from Israel to establish common ground.
It is very possible that a high-level meeting between the Polish and Israeli governments will take place soon. There is constant dialogue between us.
The publicist Maciej Chudkiewicz believes Poland can use the diplomatic conflict between Poland and Israel to educate the world about the historical truth.
Daleki jestem od powiedzenia, że to, co się do tej pory stało,
I believe in the end there can be a good outcome from this controversy. Poland can use it as an opportunity to educate people about what happened here during the war. To be able to do that, we need to prioritize financial support for endeavors which will reach people abroad and show them what actually happened in our country during the Second World War. The new legislation will come into force on March 1st. The Polish President Andrzej Duda has asked the Constitutional Tribunal to give its opinion on whether the new law is constitutional, which means that certain parts of it may still be changed.
Freezing temperatures have hit Poland. The Government Centre for Security is urging people to contact authorities concerning those most at risk, including the homeless and elderly. 47 people have died of hypothermia in Poland since the 1st of November.
Temperatures in general dropped drastically all over Poland. At the moment, the Institute of Meteorology and Water Management issued a warning against severe frost, the highest first degree for all Poland. Temperatures range from negative few degrees Celsius during the day to a dozen degrees below zero during the night. During one night in Godab, the temperature recorded was 26 degrees Celsius below zero. This indeed is a very concerning temperature. Under such atmospheric conditions, when the temperature drops dramatically below zero, we increase the number of controls, especially in previously selected non-residential locations, that is, in places where homeless people try to take shelter from freezing. Homeless people are not left alone. Throughout the country are places that dinners are served and accommodation is offered. One of the shelters is in the Church of the Capuchin Fathers in Warsaw.
Codziennie przez cały rok.
Every day from 11:30 we give out soup for the homeless and the poor. It is often their only chance for a warm meal during the day, and this is the moment when they can warm up for a while. It is terribly cold.
Rome and the whole region of Lazio are struggling with winter as the area of the ancient city was covered by 15 centimetres of snow. A lot of Romans were not able to use their cars and most public transport stopped working. Only the metro was in operation. The Colosseum, Palatine Hill and Forum Romanum are closed to tourists. The temperature in Rome may drop below 0 degrees Celsius during the night.
It shouldn't snow in Rome because we are not prepared for it. The snow has been falling since 3 a.m. The snow was supposed to be only 5 centimeters deep, but in reality it's much more than that, and it's very cold.
What? Hey, hello. Hi, Hi, Jesuits. Hi. I'm from the US. It's snowing in Rome. It's been 5 years, so we're very happy we're at St. Peter's. Hope you enjoy. Hey.
Denis Orubko has returned to the expedition's base camp after his attempt to conquer the mountain K2 on his own. A decision was made at the site that Orubko is to leave the Polish expedition. The group of 13 Polish climbers are set to reach the second highest summit in the world. What makes the expedition extraordinary is the fact that the team are trying to reach K2 summit in winter. If successful, it would be a first in mountain climbing history.
Orubko made the attempt to reach the top of the mountain on his own without discussing it with the leader of the expedition, Krzysztof Wielicki. The Russian with a Polish passport supposedly prompted another member of the team, Adam Bielecki, to climb the peak with him. Orubko is considered to be one of the best mountaineers in the world. His absence will definitely weaken the expedition, however, it does not affect the plans. Polish alpinists will make an attempt to climb the K2, preferably sometime at the beginning of the next week.
And finally, the Rolling Stones will be performing at the PGE National Stadium in Warsaw on the 8th of July. This will be the final show of the Stones' No Filter Tour of Europe. The pre-sale of tickets begins on March the 1st.
This will be the fourth time the legendary rock group performs in Poland. Their first appearance was well over half a century ago, on the 13th of April 1967. The two concerts in the Warsaw Congress Hall were the Stones' only performance behind the Iron Curtain. The tickets for those shows were not available at the register and were treasured by the lucky ones who somehow managed to acquire them. It comes as no surprise, as the Rolling Stones were second only to the Beatles in popularity during that era. I think that once they arrive at the National Stadium, they will rock the stage in the same way they did 51 years and 3 months ago. 1967 concert was so legendary that if you gathered all the people that claimed to have been at that concert, you could easily fill the National Stadium. The ones who actually did manage to experience it, however, remembered it as an extraordinary event, somewhat of a small revolution. Horse-riding citizens' militia was dispersing the crowds, while the band were throwing their vinyl records out the windows of the cars. Marek Wiernik, music journalist, has no doubt that the Rolling Stones were a cultural phenomenon and the greatest band in the history of rock music. They are a phenomenon, they are an event. We can expect a fantastic show, a spectacle. This band is still on top of their game. Their newest studio album, Blue and Lonesome, received this year's Grammy Award for the Best Traditional Blues Album. So despite the musicians being very mature, they are still in a fantastic shape and they still record great music. What is more, their concerts are surprisingly still fresh. Even though they are playing Satisfaction for the 1500th time, they play it differently each of those times.
1500 razy Satisfaction, to za każdym razem grają inaczej.
Thank you for watching. I'm John Carter. Poland Daily returns same time tomorrow night. Good night.